I walked into the night with questions on my chest. Faith felt heavy, hope was running out of breath. I said, Lord, I don't have speeches, I don't have a plan. All I have are tears, you already understand. The room was quiet, but my heart was loud. Every fear I hid was crying out. I didn't know if you were near or far, but I fell to my knees just as I was. When my strength said quit, when my mind said leave, something in my spirit wouldn't let me retreat. I stayed on my knees till heaven answered. Through the silence, through the pain, through the doubt that lingered. When words ran out and my faith felt tattered, I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. I didn't move, I didn't run, I didn't surrender. I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. I prayed the same prayer 1,000 nights. No change in sight, no morning light. People said maybe God has moved on, but something whispered, just hold on. I wrestle with fear, I wrestle with time, wrestle with the thought I've been left behind. But every tear that hit the floor felt like incense at heaven's door. I didn't hear thunder, I didn't see fire, just a still small voice saying don't get tired. So I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. When my heart was bruised and my faith was battered, in the waiting room where hope felt shattered, I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. When the night was long and the pain felt louder, I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. If you don't answer today, I'll still be here tomorrow. If you don't speak right now, I'll trust you with my sorrow. I'm not here for a miracle alone. I'm here because I'd rather wait with you than walk away on my own. Something changed, but not outside. Peace walked in, sat by my side. The storm was still there, but so was grace. I felt your hand on my shaking face. You didn't rush, you didn't explain. You just held me in the middle of the rain. And I realized what my heart had learned, heaven answers sometimes first with strength. I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. Not always with words, but with power and favor. When I thought my prayers didn't matter, I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. Stayed on my knees. Now my scars tell stories of faith that lasted. What tried to break me only shaped my worship. I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. I didn't leave, I didn't lose, I didn't shatter. I stayed on my knees until heaven answered. And if you're listening tired and worn, still waiting on God in the quiet storm, stay right there. Heaven hears more than you know.